to some serious politics, to the divisions and contentious arguments around the socio-economic survey in Karnataka only growing louder, Vasudha. The survey itself will begin as planned on Monday, declared Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who, remember, held a series of meetings today after reports of divisions even within the state cabinet over that exercise. This survey, Vasudha, as you know, will cost the state over 400 crores, more than 400 crores, but that's not the problem. The real question is, will it fuel caste, communal identity and quota politics, or will it help target government schemes and reservations better?
And how is it going to change the political discourse in the state is also important, Veera. Remember, it's all set to start on the 22nd of September, which is also when the Dussehra festival is going to begin. And the controversy is specifically important because, like we've been reporting, ministers of Karnataka Cabinet have also been raising objections on the addition of new castes as part of the survey. And the dominant groups have also been discussing, especially the Lingayat groups, if they need to be, if they need to choose the nomenclature of independent or not. So that remains a political question as well.
Importantly, Vasudha, who does this benefit politically? Is it a Siddaramaiah strategy to consolidate his position? Multiple questions have been raised. Let's listen in to Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar before we head to our first face-off this evening.
ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಹಿಂದೂ ವಿರೋಧವಾಗಿದೆ, ಹಿಂದೂಗಳ ವಿರೋಧ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಖಂಡಿಸಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂಥ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು?
कर्नाटक में सिद्धरामैया का सरकार कब कब आती है, तब तक समाज को बांटने का काम चल रहा है, जाति का आधार पर बांट रहे. यही काम ये साल भी हो रही है. हमारा रिजर्वेशन को छीनने के लिए, SC ST का रिजर्वेशन को छीनने के लिए, माइनॉरिटी को अलग से रिजर्वेशन है, उसका जाति धर्म अलग है, एंड हमारा जाति के साथ जोड़ के हमारा रिजर्वेशन को वो छीनना चाहते हैं. ये सिद्धरामैया का सरकार है, इसका हम विरोध करेंगे. जाति को बांटना चाहते हैं आपका वोट बैंक के लिए, तुष्टीकरण राजनीति के लिए आप समाज को बांटना चाहते हैं, वो आपका अंदर ही विरोध हो रहे हैं, आपका मंत्री लोग विरोध कर रहे हैं इसको.
Joining us this evening, GS Prashant of the BJP, Deepak Timmaiah of the Congress, and noted cephalogist Sandeep Shastri. My first question to you, Deepak Timmaiah, too much controversy and divisions even before the survey starts. Is it an exercise that will not just waste 400 crores, but will only fuel caste and divisive politics, as the BJP alleges?
If at all this is being done for only ensuring equitable distribution and also to see that, which of the communities have actually not been getting anything in terms of, benefiting from the government programs, I think that even if somebody is waiting for this to be going a wasteful exercise, I think that the government still will be doing a good job, because I think that the intention of the survey is very clear and it's in the interest of the people at large. If some people want to call it like, dividing the society and appeasing somebody and whatever it is, but everybody should understand that in a society like, John Stuart Mill said, even one single individual is also as important as humanity itself. So I think if at all you're trying to even find that one single individual, and if you're trying to do all this to ensure that one single individual also is not left out, I think that you're doing something good. Because, if at all you're talking only about the BJP, and if BJP wants to even exclude people who are like in such large numbers just because, you can only accuse by saying that they've been appeased, they've been, given so much, benefit and all that. People, they themselves can see that if still there are communities in this state or even in the country which have not actually shown any kind of progress at all, and that's the duty of the government to ensure that even the last man is lifted up in the society and given the opportunity. And I'm sure that the BJP's leader Mr. Modi himself, on many occasions when he has spoken, he has been very clear about the upliftment of the whole country and every society, and of course every individual of the country. And I'm sure when they themselves have been trying to do this effort to ensure equitable distribution and also to identify those groups and castes and subcastes which may have been, shortchanged. I don't think that even if you're spending about 1,000 crores also, it's a bad thing, because it's all done in the interest of the state, the people, and also for doing a good job.
Right.
Prashant ji, yes, this is all about equitable distribution. It's all about justice, is what the Congress spokesperson is saying. What is your problem with that?
Vasudha, it's like Rahul Gandhi's claims, always baseless and completely contrary to the facts. Because what is Siddaramaiah and team embarking upon now? Introducing new subcastes in religions, where they are wanting to attribute Hindu caste names to different religions by saying Lingayat Christian, Kuruba Christian, Gauda Christian, Brahmin Christian. Come on, you are either a Hindu or a Christian. You cannot be in between. Siddaramaiah also clarified it. Whereas this Congress government has now notified about 46 subcastes in Christians which carries Hindu caste names. We are not aware whether under the Christianity and the Christian law whether those things are recognized, but only to divide the Hindu society. Siddaramaiah is encouraging conversion, saying you convert and you will retain your caste along with the new religion. This is a state-sponsored event looking at forced conversions on one hand, and on the other, if you look at the intent behind the Congress trying to bring in new subcastes and divide Hindus, right from Bihar, Bengal to Kerala, they are clear, they are letting the infiltrators in by bringing in these new subcastes, attributing it to new people. We will not have precedents of that, and say you enroll them, enumerate them under this new subcaste for which they are given. We don't know whether you have a Kuruba Muslim, Lingayat Muslim.
Prashant, my question to you is, while you're raising this issue of subcaste, Prashant, listen, while you're raising this issue of subcaste, is the real issue about the worry of the dominant castes? Is the real issue one where one does not want the status quo in Karnataka's caste structure being upset? That's really the question. And before I pose that to you, let me pose the same thing to Sandeep Shastri. Sandeep Shastri, is that the reason why we are seeing so much controversy around the caste survey even before it begins? Do you believe it's going to be a waste of money and only one that fuels caste politics, or do you believe it can actually do some good?
Veera, you are right in saying that a lot of people would not want the current distribution of power between the castes to be impacted in any negative way. Let's also, Veera, raise the question that if we are spending so much of money to do this caste enumeration, compared to last time when it was done, is there any evidence of what we have done better, what we plan to do better? Has there been greater consultation, information, transparency, participation on this question? Because last time a lot of questions have been raised both within the ruling party and in the current opposition. Now, have those been addressed? Have we learned from the possible challenges that we had last time? There are internal convulsions within the ruling party. There are external contradictions and challenges. Now, how do you ensure that all this money spent is being spent correctly, is being spent appropriately, and we are not committing the errors of last time? I think that's important to convince everyone about. And I'm not too sure whether there is enough information in the public domain about this particular factor.
Right. Right.
That's a very important point, Professor Shastri. Deepak Thimaiyya, last time around we saw that the data was not released. This time around we see disagreements within the cabinet itself. And like Professor Shastri is also talking about, what kind of political signal does it send? And has the government learned something from the past? How are you going to sort of deploy those learnings?
Whether it's Mr. Siddaramaiah or the Congress party, I'm sure that, we don't want to, make mistakes as far as the process is concerned. And basically what Mr. Shastri has been talking about is basically to do with the issue with the process. And it's not basically about the intent. And let me tell you, if at all you're also worried about, the Lingayat Christian and Kuruba Christian and so on, like the BJP has been alleging for a very long time, perhaps this could be a very good time for us to understand from which communities people actually converted to other religions, so that the whole thing about, rice bag Christians or whatever, basically becoming Christians from the lowest, strata of the society, perhaps could be debunked. And this also is a good opportunity for us to understand that, how people actually convert to other communities or religions, because the CM himself has told recently that, that the whole story about conversion and what he has an opinion as about that. And let me tell you one thing very clearly. See, today, if at all this kind of a survey is going to ensure that we understand the demography of the state better, nobody is going to say that it's going to upset things to such an extent that you can't even find out the truth. It is time for us to look at the truth in the face. And perhaps, if at all the BJP is worried that it's going to promote conversion, but let me tell you, Hinduism is a very strong religion where you can't force people so easily that people don't have faith in dharma, that people can so easily get converted.
Prashant,
I think you're
that.
insulting Hindu dharma, I tell you. Because I believe Hindu dharma is a very strong dharma where
Prashant, go ahead.
So
Prashant, please respond to that.
Somebody can.
Let me. We definitely agree Hinduism has survived thousands of years despite Mughals, whom Congress looks at as their idols. Be that as it may, this is not a case of wanting to know who has converted which religion. The moment you have converted, you should automatically lose that particular Hindu tag. On what basis are you saying that now, that you want to check who converted? Are you wanting to encourage more conversions? And moreover, conducting a caste census is a prerogative of the central government, which the central government is already notified it, and it's going to happen. Why this hurry for the Congress government? And 2 months ago, they did this census of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now they want one more census being carried out. They are using the Karnataka Backward Class Commission for this. We don't even know whether they have the authority to do survey of other castes outside the purview of the Backward Class Commission. When many issues are there, they wasted 120 crores in Kantaraj Commission. Then Jaiprakash Hegede's commission report, they did not make it public. They said the signatures were missing by the secretary. And you have a whole lot of fault lines within the Congress cabinet disagreeing with it. On top of it now, you want to embark on this particular exercise. For what reason? Please wait for the caste census which the center is going to carry out, which will be comprehensive in every nature. And
Deepak Thimaiyya, sharp questions raised by Prashant. Deepak Thimaiyya, these are sharp questions raised by Prashant. Don't deny that within your own party there are divisions over this.
Don't you feel nice about it that Congress party at least has the internal democracy, that people at least air their opinions and express their concerns instead of accepting when the CM comes that you stand up and bow your head just because he's the leader of the party.
Rahul Gandhi. Virendra Patil was dismissed as CM when Rajiv Gandhi was there. So the internal democracy in Congress is known to everybody. Internal democracy starts.
We are in 2025, Mr. Prakash. We were not in 1980.
We also know how much internal democracy was present when Mallikarjun Kharge had to stand outside and peep when Priyanka Vadra was filing a nomination. There is no internal democracy in Congress.
Let's focus on this issue. Let's focus on the issue at hand. Some questions being raised by Prashant. Deepak, respond, and finally I'll give the word to Prashant.
I think Mr. Shastri wants to say something.
Veera, I was
Mr.
just
Shastri is quietly listening. Go ahead, Mr. Shastri.
Veera, I was just wanting to make the point that backward caste enumeration reservation at the state level is very different from at the central level. Let's remember it started much earlier at the state level, And I think it's perfectly okay to have a separate census happening at two levels. There is also a separate enumeration of castes at both levels. What is more important for me is if we are starting this exercise in Karnataka on Monday, have we taken precautions not to repeat the errors of the past? This for me is the biggest concern. Otherwise, a lot of money that we are spending would then, once again, like last time, not result in any important policy input. That is the critical factor.
Extremely important point
But
being
Deepak
made
Thimaiya,
by
let me
Professor
just ask you
Shastri
this
there,
one
Vasudha.
question. Deepak Thimaiya. Yeah, Deepak Thimaiya, last time we were waiting for the data to come out. We were waiting for the data to come out, but that didn't because there were other compulsions that the government also faced. How sure are we that this time the outcomes, the data, the survey data is really going to be out?
See, when we are doing this enumeration, if at all, we have gone into another survey, and if at all we are actually spending more money and we have actually made it more threadbare, the very intention is because our own party members, like the opposition has been saying, that we have been having a lot of concern about, the way perhaps the data was generated. And this one, I'm sure that it's being watched by a lot of people, not just by the BJP, but also inside the party. And I'm 100% sure that the CM himself is aware of the kind of, challenges we could face if at all the information is or the data is not collected properly. But let me tell you, why do we preempt these things even before they are done? As if, only if the BJP does it, it's all perfect. Only if the Congress does it, it's going to be all faulty. But let me tell you, we have to
Prashant,
respect
very quick response.
anything that the government tries to do, because, it is not just the government of the
Congress
congressmen.
has never stood up for the nation. Congress is a party which disregarded the armed forces after Operation Sindoor. So we cannot believe Congress does anything for the people, excepting that they do only to please the Gandhi family. And because this was done the moment Rahul Gandhi wanted to do it, they're doing it, excepting that they have no real agenda to serve the people. They are busy
Yes, perhaps.
insulting the people of Karnataka.